Hi, my name is Kat Tesla, and I'm an international contemporary artist. I never thought I could be an artist. Like most kids, I loved art, drawing, painting, sewing, and sculpting. In high school, I excelled in math, science, and art. I even got a scholarship for the first year of college for art, along with academic scholarships. But guess what? We didn't know anybody who was an artist. My parents certainly didn't support the idea. I clearly remember my dad saying, "Well, you've got that first year covered. Good luck if you want to pursue that." Those words sent me down a 20-year path into the world of science, not art. Years later, after obtaining a master's degree in human genetics and being on faculty at Emory University, I began to wonder. I was still painting on the side in my free time. I wondered if I could get accepted into one of those art festivals. My friends and I would go to these outdoor art shows, and it was like a drug to me. Seeing all of the art, talking to the artists, it was exciting. They were doing it. They were making a living from their art. It was then that I realized that I could be an artist. The following year, I created slides of my work. Now, mind you, it was 1997. I filled out the application and mailed it in. And guess what? I was accepted into the show. Not only that, I sold nearly everything I brought. I won an award and got invited to be in a gallery. The very next week, I went part-time in my genetics job. Of course, my parents thought I had lost my mind. Fast forward 4 years, I had some medical problems and I had to have a hysterectomy. My plan was to quit my day job about 6 weeks after my surgery. I was ready to make the leap to become a full-time artist. Unfortunately, a month after my surgery, my husband was diagnosed with colon cancer. He was 41 at the time. I was 38. I felt like the rug of fate was pulled out from under us. I couldn't quit. We needed the medical insurance that we got through my job. It was another 5 years before I finally quit my genetics job to become a full-time artist. By that time, I needed a lot of help because I had built up things on the side when I was working in my genetics job. Things had taken off so much that my husband quit his day job to be my business partner. It's been 26 years since that first art festival. I've always been curious and courageous. I don't have formal art training. My background is in biology and human genetics. I did go back to school to get an associate's degree in graphic design. My biggest influences for my artwork are the Abstract Expressionists and the Abstract Impressionists. I love all of them. Right now in my life, in 2023, I'm focusing on 2 words. Each year, at the beginning of the year, I pick a word or 2 words to describe what I want to do that year, where I want to go. The words I chose this year are dream and alignment. I want to dream bigger, and I want my life to kind of settle down and be more aligned. Last year, 20 years after my husband's colon cancer, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in the middle of moving from Georgia to Florida. It was a really hard time. Now I'm more than a year later from my breast cancer diagnosis. I'm healthy and well. My surgery pretty much cured it. And I'm in a point in my life where things are starting to align. I'm getting to a healthy balance of what I want my life to be. The biggest challenge I have found of being an artist is to be willing to dig deep within yourself over and over and over with the hope of pulling out something extraordinary and beautiful for the world to see. It's not an easy ask. The advice that I would give to my younger self is that life is short. Don't wait. Don't wait until you're ready, because you're never going to be ready and you're never going to feel ready. You just need to jump into whatever you're dreaming about. In my work, I use a number of unconventional tools, including just pieces of things. I cut up milk jugs after, of course, the milk is out of them and they're washed. I cut them up into different shapes and use them to scrape paint, to move paint around in a different kind of way. I use antique brushes to make marks in my work. I use paper towels all the time. I love the Blue Shop paper towels. I can do an entire painting using a paper towel for a brush. When I'm in the studio, I listen to music of all kinds. My husband is a classically trained accordionist. That doesn't mean we have accordion music playing in the studio, but what it does mean is we have world music playing in the studio. He plays world music, which means he plays music from about 20 different countries. So in turn, we collect music to listen to from all over the world. So one day it might be something from South America. The next day it might be predominantly Irish. The next day it might be something from Macedonia. I think one of the best reactions someone has had to my artwork, I've heard so many lovely comments. I'm very lucky that people have had such a favorable response to my work. But one collector in particular said the following: I look at your painting first thing in the morning and last thing at night, and I draw peace and serenity from it. It's become more special to me over time. I don't own a lot of art. It's always a splurge. And when I do purchase, it's because I know I want to live with it for a long time. Your painting has become one of my special things, something I would grab and put in the car while we were evacuating from a flood. So I think that that's probably the most profound thing anybody has said about my artwork. As a painter, I hope that my viewers and my collectors feel the joy and the gratitude I have for this life. I hope the art makes them feel good, that they leave with a feeling of being happy and at ease at the same time. My collectors always tell me that mine is the painting that when they come home, they view it and say, Last but not least, I don't have a lot of upcoming events right now. It's summer, which is kind of a downtime for me to realign from a busy spring and what is going to be a busy fall. One of the things that I worked on recently was a wine label for a winery in Sonoma, California. And I was really honored to join quite a list of prestigious artists who have already made a wine label for this winery. My artwork will be assigned to a harvest this year, and the wine will come out next year with my art on the label. Thanks for listening. You can find me online. My website is artbycat.com. I'm on Instagram @CatTesla, Facebook, Cat Tesla Fine Art, and Pinterest, Cat Tesla Fine Art. And cat is spelled C-A-T.